Thank you for joining us here on the NPTE Final Frontier Podcast. My name is David.
And my name is Emily. Today, we will be diving into a question which covers muscle contractions. All right, so here is the question. During a rehabilitation exercise program, while standing, a patient is performing elbow flexion, and the physical therapist instructs the patient to slowly lower the arm back to a neutral anatomical position. What is the primary muscle and contraction type for this movement? Is it option A, an isometric contraction of the biceps brachii? Option B, a concentric contraction of the triceps brachii? Option C, an eccentric contraction of the triceps brachii? Or option D, an eccentric contraction of the biceps brachii? Now, eccentric contractions involve muscle lengthening while under tension, as seen when the muscle is controlling the descent phase of an exercise. So based on this, that would mean that the correct answer choice is option D, an eccentric contraction of the biceps brachii. Since the biceps is working eccentrically to lower and control the arm down from a flexed position to a neutral or extended position. Now, option A is incorrect because an isometric contraction involves static muscle contractions without movement of the biceps. Option B is incorrect because a concentric contraction of the triceps would occur when the muscle is shortened while generating force, which would be occurring if the patient was trying to actively move the elbow into an extended position. And again, remember, for this patient, they were trying to control the descent of the arm, which is why it would not be a concentric contraction of the triceps brachii. And then finally, option C is incorrect because an eccentric contraction of the triceps brachii would be controlling that muscle length and moving that arm into a flexed position.
All right, that was incredible. You all did incredible. But let's talk a little bit more about the types of muscle contractions. So let's go into and start with isometric. An isometric contraction is when there is no change in the muscle length. So, can you think of any examples out there? Good job. Some of the examples, something could be a plank or even a wall squat hold. Or you could always think about if you are getting ready to flip a table, but the table is just so hard and you cannot flip it because you're studying so much and you're trying to lift up the table and lift it up. And that right there, that table is not moving, but you're trying as hard as you can to lift it and flip it. That is an isometric contraction right there. Now let's go into an isotonic contraction.
David, I have to ask, it seems like you have some experiences with that, trying to flip a table while studying. Is that true?
I cannot confirm or deny, but let's just say I had to do a lot of meditation. But let's talk about that isotonic contraction. So what the isotonic is a change in muscle length while force or tension remains constant. So you have a few different ones. Something could be a concentric. That's when the muscle shortens when producing force. Give me an example over there. All right. An example would be lifting yourself up against gravity. So like uphill running. Another example would be something like if you were using your dumbbells and you're doing a bicep curl. Just bringing that bicep curl going up. Doing the action of that bicep, that would be a concentric contraction. If we're talking about concentric, you know what's next? It is the eccentric. So an eccentric contraction, that's when muscle lengthens when producing force. Something like that would be, an example would be, good job, lowering yourself against gravity. So downhill running. So if you just did a bicep curl, let's say you brought it up, now that eccentric contraction would be that lowering back to that neutral position, but you control it nice and slow. Try not to let your arms just flop on down. That is an eccentric contraction. The last one is an isokinetic contraction. Isokinetic, so that is a constant velocity muscle action that requires special equipment. So more often than not, you're going to see a device for the isokinetic contraction being done at a sports clinic, usually an athlete. So if you're at a high-end athletic clinic for sport rehabilitation, you may have an isokinetic device there. A good mnemonic to remember all of these actually is Nintendo eliminates costs. Take it with a grain of salt. I know pricing of video games can be very expensive, but roll with me here. Roll with Emily. Let's get this. Nintendo eliminates costs. So when you write out the N and the I of Nintendo in a capitalized form. That N is going to stand for nothing, and the I is going to stand for isometric. So this way you know that there is no changes. Eliminates. The E is capitalized, and so is the L is capitalized in eliminates. That is going to stand for eccentric for the E, and the L is going to stand for lengthens, because the lengthening goes with the eccentric. And of course, now we're going to get on over to costs. So, can you tell what the concentric's going to go with? Yeah, it's going to go with that C. So you're going to capitalize that C, and you capitalize that C for concentric. And I know we have two S's in there. Pick and choose which one you want. Capitalize one of those S's for shortens. So Nintendo eliminates costs. And that's going to help you out for memorizing this topic. Now here's a quote from Will Rogers. Don't let yesterday take up too much of today. Don't live in the past, warriors. Whether it is with regard to this examination or life in general. Things happen. Let it go. Let it be yesterday. Let it remain in the past. Don't carry it with you. You deserve to have that peace of mind. Leave it where it belongs. Back there, behind you. Keep on moving forward. You are powerful. You are strong. You are a final frontier warrior. You will pass.
Thank you very much for listening. For more information on the NPTE Final Frontier, please visit npteff.com. You can also check out all of our social media platforms, such as Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok.
Till next time, have a great day and a powerful tomorrow. Thank you once again.